Hello, hi everyone. We are live because we have something really exciting to announce today. So a couple of months ago in June, on the 28th of June, we hosted our second Big Film Photowalk event. And today we are really excited to announce the results of the photo competition that we hosted. So that was all of the attendees of the event were invited to enter their images shot on the day. And this was across about 40 or so locations across the UK, on mostly Kodak Pro Image, which was our film in focus, but also a lot of you shot some other films as well whilst you were there. So I am shortly, in a second, going to invite Antonio, who is from Pentax. Some of you may know him, and he has been judging our competition. So 1 minute please, bear with me, I'm going to invite him now. This is what happens when you're a social media manager and you have to do it yourself. So bear with me. How is everyone today? There he is. Hello, Antonio.
Hi, Amy. Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Busy time, but how's it going with you?
Yeah, amazing. Totally the same. Very, very busy, but all good news. Film is booming. Things are exciting. Lots going on to kind of round up the summer activities. So yeah, brilliant stuff.
Good.
Amazing. So yeah, so I was just saying this was a free competition for all attendees of the Big Film Photowalk, which was on the 28th of June. Everyone was invited to enter for free. We had about 45 walks across the country, you know, up from Scotland to Wales, down on the south coast. And there was about 650 participants that joined us on that one day, which was amazing. So we've invited you back, like we did last year, to judge some images that the participants have submitted. And yeah, I mean, what were your initial thoughts of the submissions?
So first of all, Amy, it was a pleasure to be part of the photo walk in London, and it was really fun. As usual, the film community is always warm in terms of community, so they all
Yeah,
always engage and they enjoy to be on these kind of events. The nice thing about the film community is also that it's more attached to the kind of retro look of the images. So I explored these almost 1,000 images that you sent me that came from the whole UK, and is such a refreshing view because,
yeah,
as you know, I'm a digital photographer mainly, but also I do occasionally shoot film. I shot film in the past using different cameras like Hasselblad, medium format, and Pentax Spotmatic F, and many others. But yeah, it's good to see also the rendering of different kind of cameras with Pro Image, Kodak Pro Image, and so it was really, really interesting to judge them and go through them. The overall trend that I saw is that people try to get a specific aesthetic out of images,
hmm
which I will dive into when we go through the first three places, the podium, and then we go through as well the honorable mentions as
yes.
well.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know Antonio, Antonio works for Rico and Pentax. Obviously, yes, you joined us last year on the Big Film Photo Walk as well, in London South Bank, and also on the Pentax Photo Walk with TKO as well, the creator of Pentax 17. So London-based folk, you might have met him before, but yeah, no, Antonio is also, like I said, a photographer himself. So yeah, we're lucky to have you, Antonio. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me, Amy. And it was a pleasure. And everybody, as I said, they were enthusiastic about it. And I'm excited to share the winners and the honorable mentions, and as well give some feedback on what I saw, what's the trend is
Hmm.
among the, how many? 46? 48 photo
About
works?
45, I think. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
brilliant. Yeah, so Pentax obviously was a sponsor of the Big Film Photowalk event, and so was Kodak. So one of the prizes actually that the winner will receive is, of course, the Pentax 17, which is an incredible prize, and also a load of Kodak films. So yeah, very exciting, lots to play for. Also a Pentax t-shirt, which obviously I am wearing right now, and we have some for you guys too, so that's exciting. Amazing. So also worth saying whilst we're here as well, we have a deal at the moment on the Pentax 17. So if you did want to try your hand at half frame photography, Pentax 17 is a great camera. Antonio, you shoot it quite a lot yourself, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it is. You're preaching to the choir, of course, because I do like the Pentax 17 for the simplicity of the concept, and having the chance, like you mentioned earlier, to speak directly with the maker,
Yeah.
the person that that created the camera, such as TKO. For those who don't know who is TKO, is the inventor of the Pentax 17, who designed the Pentax 17. And it was amazing to hear from his feedback that the Pentax 17 was such a complex yet rewarding process.
Yeah.
But I want to remind everybody that the Pentax 17 it delivers double the shots because it's half frame camera, and yet the quality out of it, that's why I'm a big fan of it, because the quality that you get out of the Pentax 17 is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not sacrificing much in quality, but you're getting tremendous results.
And lots for your money as well. So that's always
Of
positive.
course, indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
brilliant. Okay, amazing. So should we go into your top 10 that you've chosen?
absolutely. So
Yes. Did you want to
let me
start?
start.
Are we starting with the winner or are we starting from the end?
So I want to make it fun. So I will start from the third place
Okay.
and then go up to the first place, and then also do the
Yeah.
honorable mentions as well. Okay.
Okay, brilliant. So I have the third place. So this is the image number 3. So this was taken by Warren Bates on a Kodak film. I assume it's Pro Image, hopefully, that's the one that he received. And it was in Runcorn. And the favourite thing about his event that he said was meeting fellow film photographers. So, what did you like about this, Antonio?
So Warren, in my view, did a really impressive job in capturing something ordinary, making it extraordinary in one way. So the goal in this competition was to create, inspiring pictures. And what Warren really created here is an image that is really popping, in the sense that there is this gorilla at the back, the wife, which is an oxymoron. It's like, the
Bit
wife is not a
cheeky.
gorilla. So it's cheeky. It's a cheeky image. The first thing it does, it makes you laugh. It also can make you think. It can be really interpreted as you wish. But what I saw in this image is the paradox of having, the wife with the chain on the neck, and then the offspring, which are not gorillas actually. They are there. You see some monkeys on the side over there, but you see kind of the offspring, which is another paradox as well, with this polar bear, which don't match the environment where the gorilla grows. And so all these elements, contrasting elements, and as well the colors matching as well. So the sign in the chest of the gorilla, the wife, matches the flower on the left hand side, and the other
Yeah.
sunflowers on top, and is also quite. I mean, the environment itself is really messy in terms of what is there, but he created an order through
Mm.
the image. And as well, the fact that there are these bars in the front is also giving an insight on uh, some kind of situation, such as in a zoo or constricted animals. So it really does touch different fields in one shot, but yet put everything in order, making you laugh. So that's a really good storytelling example from Warren. He really did a good job here, where from an angle as well, without using like the bokeh effect, for instance. I saw many people using the bokeh effect, through the lenses shooting wide open. I'm not against bokeh. I love the rendition of bokeh, but in my case, I use it mainly when, for instance, there is lack of light or there is something distracting in the background. So to do some separation from the background. In this case, instead, Warren used a good aperture. Of course, the bars in front are blurred, which makes sense because you don't want to focus on them. But as well, the position of the polar bear that is looking at the kind of the mother in this case, it just makes these lifeless elements in these pictures, make them alive. And this is how storytelling is told through creating something interesting from nothing. That's the power of photography, in my view.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Yeah, thank you. It's, yeah, like you say, very random, but just funny. It just makes you laugh, doesn't it?
Yeah,
There's
it
so much
does.
going on. There's so much going on, but we love it. Okay, brilliant. So number 2 then. This one was taken by, oh wait, worth mentioning with this one. So this person had 2 shots. So I've grouped them both at number 2. They were taken by the same person. So this is Christian Bryce, and that he is at jskandora.film, and these were
Yeah.
both taken on Pro Image in Belfast.
Indeed. So let me pull up on my screen as well the image. Yes. So let me start with the second place, and then I will show if you can show the other one later. Christian Breeze, tremendous job there. If you can if you can get closer to the screen, yeah. So I want to. So from what you can see here, there is the driver, which you don't see the face. You see only the arm of the driver, and then there is a kid sitting at the back. Yeah, so the overall image is really striking. If you can pull a little bit back, Amy, please. Yeah, perfect. So there is this truck, and then at the back there is this tractor. So the overall image is a kind of a rural industrial age image with really strong colors, but yet not too oversaturated, where these days with the phones we have oversaturated colors, and that's the beauty of film. But what Christian has done here is to capture the moment in a very fleeting moment that was happening in front of him. So that's why he really, I think, deserved the second place for the colors, how he photographed something with really the RGB. If you look at the colors, there is RGB. So red, green, and blue. And also, of course, the Ford tractor at the back looks like from back in the day. It doesn't look really modern. So it really matches the theme in terms of shooting film, no? So with the film, you also slow down, you try to capture something that is timeless. And this image, although it's quite modern, it just gives you that timeless feel. And as well, the most powerful part of this image, I'm sure you will all see through Analog Wonderland website these images on your screen. But what I see on my screen at the moment, I see the kid. There is a young kid at the back where it looks like is like the little kid. She is driving the truck. Because you don't see the driver. You basically don't see the driver. So it looks like the kid at the back is driving the truck. So it's almost like looking at a kid which is driving the future. So that's what is my thinking process, is the kid that is at the back will be the one driving us towards the future.
Nice.
And that's what I see in this image. But again, Amy, I see RGB as well. So I
Yeah.
see the how deliberate is Christian in this image. He did a great job in overall capturing a fleeting moment, but yet his eye was strong enough and sharp enough to understand the surroundings. And that's why also I bring this to the mention of honor, since we are talking about Christian Brice from Belfast. Can you show me the other one, please?
Yeah.
So just a quick side note, Christian was also selected for this image in Belfast. And I know from this screen, maybe you don't see all the details, but again, you will see them later on. The interesting thing is, of course, is quite bold. There is someone peeing on the side of the street, and a gentleman like raising his hands, but also there is a person on a wheelchair on the left-hand side, which is looking surprised. And also there is a sign which says "Gate in use," where the person is is peeing. That is really funny. But apart from the fun factor, I see a good balance in this image. On the left-hand side, you see the cones for roadworks, which are almost like alive, looking at, like yelling at the person doing
Yeah.
going to the loo in the street. And then also on the other side, there is another balance factor, which is the old man on the wheelchair, which is looking quite surprised from what was happening. So what's sealing the deal here is this triangle, this invisible triangle between the cones, the people involved. So the two young boys having, like, making kind of a joke, and someone is also taking advantage of the gate in use that we were talking about, but as well, the other presence is the old man on the wheelchair. So although I've seen something like this, is quite dynamic, because I see the man on the wheelchair. If the man on the wheelchair wasn't there, Emmy, I wouldn't give a mention of honorable mention to this image, because
Okay. So it's
it balances
the
out.
composition, yeah, the triangle kind of composition.
Yes, and then also the colors, yet again, is
Yeah.
quite dull. The weather was quite dull, and the sky was forecast. But Christian used these popping colors like red and white, and the cones also connect with the writings, black and white clothes of these young boys, and so everything is harmonious in this image. And also, yet again, I would say that Christian really did a good job, because also used the color scheme and was able to capture the moment as it was fleeting as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, well done, Christian.
Well done.
Okay, so number one then.
Drum roll, number one
Drum
is
roll. The winner is this lovely image by Donald Ingram. It was taken on Pro Image on his Leica MP, and I mean, I guessed immediately where this was without knowing the location. It is Edinburgh, because I've been on that street before, and it's very recognizable, beautiful.
indeed, indeed. It is in Edinburgh, and I just want to say that Donald, in this image, really thought out what he was capturing. But also there is, as I mentioned during my photo walks, this is something that he really captured through the image. So the image tells you a story, yet is very cryptic. So in this image, it's basically a reflection into a reflection into a reflection, a repeating reflection, and as well, you can tell that it's a reflection because you see backwards writing in the image. But what really impressed me about this image is that he captures layers through a simple reflection. So this is a perfect example, in my view, of what a photograph captured through reflection is and what layers means. So in this image, you see the layers. And for instance, you see on the left-hand side, you see this little painting or picture with someone with yelling in the image. On the other side, you see these colorful and repeating patterns of these windows. But on the top, there is a very old building where there is also some writings there that are interesting. So it tells you different aspects of the same reality. So it almost like gives several layers where you can look through. And your eyes will be never bored by an image like this because there are so many elements, but yet they make sense because like in society. So for me, this could represent society where there are so many layers, so many people, so many different aspects of society. And in this image, you can really see that. And it's really interesting. On top of that, as I said, there is a nice contrast between the bottom of the image and the top. Not too much emphasis on Harry Potter writings there, but you can still see it. So you can guess where the place is. You immediately guess it was in Edinburgh. If you've been there, I've been there. I recognize this place. But yet again, the bottom part of the image, very colorful, not extremely modern, but more modern than the
Yeah,
top of the image.
it's two opposites, isn't it? Yeah.
Two opposites, and then as well, as I said, so the contrast, this image works because there is contrast between colors and kind of texture as well. And as well, there are so many different layers where you can read between the lines what the photographer was trying to capture here is really outstanding. So well done to Donald. Before I go to the honorable mentions, I want to say to everyone, so this is a nice initiative from Analog Wonderland. I just want to remind everybody that a competition is a good exercise to understand where you stand in terms of photography skills and overall research, because photography, in my view at least, is a research. You are trying to always create something interesting that has not been seen before, or you are tackling a specific theme, but at the end of the day, in another way, you are creating another narrative. So that's the power of of photography. And what photographer, when you hold in that camera, especially with film, you can really create something unique that can have an impact on the viewer that can be really, really striking and really important for society at large. So keep that in mind. But I just want to mention that in this case, all these three winners didn't focus just on a stylistic aspect of the images, didn't just focus on the subtleties of the colors or the bokeh, you create this separation. They dare a little bit more. So they dare either in terms of reflection that could be perceived as messy or can be a kind of lifeless setup like the third place where you say, okay, what does it mean? You know, like all these fake puppets and things like that. But that's where the capacity of the photographer to interpret a specific scene come into place. And of course, the second place where I believe is Christian with the truck. That's a little bit more classic. Yeah, thank you, Amy. This is a little bit more classic, but what Christian did here was really outstanding to really be able to manage the colors and the scene in a blink of an eye. So yeah, the capacity to be quick, to use the decisive moment at your advantage, to use your instinct, and to master technique. These elements will let you create outstanding images.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely with these, it's all about composition, storytelling, framing. yeah, there's lots to say, isn't there, in these frames?
Yeah.
No, that's great. Yeah, so just again, well done to Donald. Donald, you have won a Pentax 17, and a load of Kodak films of your choice, and of course the Pentax 17 t-shirt as well. So yeah, we'll be in touch with you and all of the winners as well. So that's exciting. Okay, amazing. So then, honourable mentions in no particular order. We have a look. This one by Sarah Oates, and she is at Sarah_devs.fix on Instagram. So this one was obviously not taken on Kodak Pro Image, lomography purple, and it was in Glasgow. What did you like about this one?
So what I like about this image that Sarah captured, first of all, are the impressive colors. You said it's called lomography purple, this one,
Yeah,
correct?
it is, yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing I thought, of course, that she used a specific kind of film. The first thing that made me choose this picture is the ethereal, the kind of out of this world sensation that this image give you. The fact that the person had, the head of the person is in the middle of this white and black pattern. It looks like almost lost in a spiral of thinking, but yet these punchy colors and the background as well.
Mm.
So the building in the background, it creates kind of surrealistic image where it's almost like a Stanley Kubrick movie where you see this kind of interesting buildings in the background, but as well, it made me remind of kind of Japanese aesthetic as well. So I like this image because it gives you room for your own creativity. It doesn't mean specifically something. I'm sure the photographer had something in mind, but it just gives you that freedom to think of something like your interpretation will be different from other people. So it is unique in its own kind, and also, in my view, is very well composed and is quite original as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's great. Like you say, it's yeah, like a magical kind of world, and almost being like hypnotized through the
Yeah,
spiral, and the purple just adds to that like mystery, doesn't it?
indeed. So there is
Yeah.
a mystery. That's well said, Amy. There is a mystery component in this image where, yeah, you don't see the face of the person.
Mm.
So I think many people can get hypnotized by that sign.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Okay. This one was taken by Emma Nordell, and she's at Emma Nordell Art on Instagram. It was in Kodak Pro Image, and it was in London Brixton. Now, I know that a lot of people got this image on that photo walk. I've seen a couple of them come through. So well done to Emma for getting like the winning image from that scene. But yeah, a lot going on in this one. What did you like about it?
Yeah, so the capacity and the capability of Emma to uh, put the subject in the right place, put the background on an angle. So as you can see, the subject, so the biker, is actually wheeling and is straight on. You see him is quite straight, and as well compared to the horizon, funny enough, he looks centered. But yet everything else is at an angle. So I love the dynamism of this image. I love the fact that Emma didn't use necessarily a long lens. It gives you an insight on the background and also the foreground, the surroundings. It's a picture that captures the daily life in a skate park in Brixton, which it can be challenging to photograph and also to capture the moment where the gentleman here is wheeling on his bicycle and doing some jumps. But also I like the contrast between kind of the perfection of the buildings in the background, all these new buildings, shiny buildings, and the street, rough kind of skate park that is there, which is really kind of creative. Is less monotone, less
Very urban.
precise and geometric. It's urban, and then the background instead is really geometrically sound. It's really precise. So all this square, all these windows. Instead, the foreground, there are all these interesting writings on the floor and the artwork on the floor from the streets. Like you said, it's really urban. And and you see also the guy on the left-hand side that is skating, which gives an extra element there. But yeah, overall, I like the how original is the image, the fact that Emma captured more than just the man on the bicycle, and that she chose an angle that is awkward, but it makes it intentional.
Yeah, I think it's good because it shows the movement. It's very dynamic. Almost looks as if he's going into the sky, like with that angle.
Yeah.
Looks really high. So yeah, it just kind of adds to the movement of the image, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
No, it's great. Amazing. Thank you, Emma. Okay, this one taken by Alexander Adkins, and he's at photo.adkins on Instagram. It was taken on Kodak Pro Image, and this was in Greenwich in London.
Yeah, so what I like about the Alexander picture here is, I mean, he created an interesting view of an artist. So a photographer, although someone might disagree, is still an artist because he's expressing himself or herself through photography. I remind you that photography replaced paintings, and so the photographer now has a big job to kind of don't make redundant images. But in this case, Alexander created something that I already seen in the past, but in a more creative way. So Alexander here captured the artist in action, which is interesting, and as well he blurred the foreground. So he used the lens and the focus in a way that is not disturbing. So he shows the artist in action without disturbing the artist. It shows some paintings and drawings in the background, so it gives you context. But also it shows how sometimes the artwork and the creative process it takes. It's a lonely place. It's a lonely place where you need to really work hard to achieve something, or more than work hard, to really put your energy towards that creation. It sometimes can be really, it is really fulfilling to create something if it's your calling or if it's something that you love to do. So it is sometimes necessary to isolate yourself and create. So I like that Alexander didn't disturb the artist here and capture the essence of him in this case.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice environmental portrait, isn't it? Like you say, the foreground, like with the paintings and images there, give a bit of context as well. It's probably taken in Greenwich Market, which is quite, these stores are really small. There's quite a lot going on, and it's almost like a very peaceful moment that he's kind of captured in a polite way, without disturbing, like you say, which is really nice.
Exactly. And you know what I thought, Amy, at the first glance, that almost the painter was like a Buddhist monk. It looks like like a Buddhist monk, and and I like the grain. So we are in the film channel here, and I love the grain. Whatever it is, if it's even with digital, I want to share with everybody that personally, I shoot only black and white, and I aim to get the grain right. For me, noise is not grain if you know how to manage the noise. And in film, the grain here really cut it and really creates that human touch.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lovely shot. Yeah, thank you, Alexander. Okay, we've got this one by Fan Ma. Hopefully I've pronounced that okay. They are at Philippa_film on Instagram. It was taken on Kodak Pro Image, and this was on the London Hampstead Heath photo walk.
Yeah, so Panama, so it created an image that I really like. It reminds me of Degas or Manet, the Impressionists. So talking about painting just a minute ago, funny enough, you just pull up this image where it is timeless. So this image, you can only say that is quite modern because the clothes the subject wears, but overall it's timeless. It looks like again a painting, which you will ask in your mind maybe but it doesn't make sense. You take an image, a photography image, a photographic image, and then create a painting out of it. That's why it's so important to just break the boundaries of photography. Let's break the rules of photography to create something remarkable. And I think Tana really did that because it's really interesting, the image that the photographer created here, where you see this motion blur, where it generated these blurs that are against all odds, because these days everybody wants the perfect pictures, the super sharp 100 megapixel image. I'm not against megapixels or sharpness, but sometimes you can use motion blur to create something that the mind needs to sharpen, the mind needs to kind of develop in the head what kind of image you have in front of you. So if the image inspires your curiosity, that means that most of the time that image is working. And in my view, this image is not telling. It's not necessarily impressive in storytelling, so that's why it's mentioned honorable mention. But it just I like the way the photographer captured this moment, and although it's not facing the subject, it's almost like a painting where it's representing someone in a park that is going for a walk and thinking about life or thinking about something. So it's quite a peaceful image. It's peaceful yet interesting and mysterious.
Yeah. Like you say, photographers are artists, and it's totally, you're unique to you as to how you take photos, and you can be creative in this way. So no, it's really nice, really simple, but really beautiful as well in the colors.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, this one was taken by Anna Ribeiro on Kodak Pro Image, and again, I guess this was Edinburgh, and it is in Edinburgh. You've got the classic bagpipes.
Yeah. So in this case, Filippa, since we moved from the previous image, I just want to stress the point that photographers, it sounds cliche, but photographers are the ones that need to see through light. They needs to master the light. And so in all these images we saw, although in some cases the lighting wasn't ideal because it might be forecast, so it must be flat. In this case, you can see that the light, probably the sun was peeking out the clouds, and also the way the photographer Filippa here took the image, although the angle is quite straight on, it's quite squared. Uh, there is a slight angle, but what I think makes this image quite cool, first of all, like Amy said, so in a kind of instinctive way, it reminds you of Scotland because there is what you call the instrument?
The bagpipes.
Yeah, the bagpipes. So that is a component that is unique to the image. But of course, the other gentleman on the side standing, also the magazine there, jellyfish. It's kind of these three elements. Yet again, these barriers on the right-hand side are indicator towards the gentleman playing the bagpipes, and that definitely make the image interesting as well. The wall that with this light, it looks more three-dimensional. So I like the three-dimensionality of the image, although it's at an angle that is quite straight on, so it's quite square. And I think this image really stands out for the fact that also Filippa really used the light in the right way. And I will take the occasion to say Filippa really did an excellent job in capturing the light without under or overexposing, but choosing a specific exposure here where there is a good balance, but yet it's not flat image. Because I want to mention that many people in this competition did photograph either in high key or they overexposed a little bit. So I think, this is my view, of course, by subjective view, but I see that many of you tend to use a kind of high key overexposing. I invite everybody, or I would say 50% at least of the images had this kind of characteristic. I invite everybody to use a lower exposure or trying to do kind of no, I'm not saying underexposing, but try to do low key, especially in daylight, because as you know, film is not forgiving on highlights.
Yeah, exactly, and it's almost more challenging with Kodak Pro Image as well. You know, your ISO 100 film. If the light's not brilliant, then you're going to get these slightly darker, moodier images. So that definitely comes across in this one.
Yeah, yeah, and also there is some vignetting. You see on top
Yeah, I
right and
noticed that.
left.
Yeah.
So I think in this case it's very, very strong vignetting, but or is even the lens hood. But I don't
Yeah,
mind
yeah.
because it's a kind of symmetrical. You see that on top and left, and a little bit on the top left corner, right corner, bottom corner. So yeah,
Yeah, there's a
sometimes
bit on there,
vignetting,
isn't there?
yeah, and even though some people say, that's vignetting or that's lens hood, this is really poor. I disagree. This is
Adds
really
character.
strong. Exactly. So it's better to give some character to the images to have the perfect image, which it doesn't exist in my view.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Anna. Okay, so this is our last honorable mention then. And this one was taken by Kirsten Forster on Pro Image again, and it was in Leicester. And she is at Kerr on Film on Instagram. And this is almost the
Yes,
opposite to what we were just saying, isn't it? Very bright, very sunny, lovely colours.
absolutely. So what Kirsten did here is just, I would say in one sentence that this remind me of Basilico. Look it up. He's a photographer that used to focus on urban cityscapes and architecture. It remind me of Basilico, which I believe, is deceased by now. But like this image stands out for the reason Amy mentioned. So the colors are outstanding. I like the exposure here, the exposure choice. The building is really challenging to photograph because there's some really bright sides of the image and there are really strong shadows, and that's where this film Image Pro Kodak, it just give you that latitude. So there is excellent latitude here, and as well, I like the contrast between the kind of a jungle around framing the building. So it's like a building in a jungle, which is the contrast between kind of cementification and the nature acquiring the space, claiming the space again. I love as well the choice of the photographer to photographing a building that has this kind of pattern. So all these windows, balconies, whatever they are, they look really cool. So this building is probably from the 70s, something like that. And I like it. It reminds me of Barbican in London as well.
Yeah, that's what I was
W-
thinking. Yeah,
yeah,
brutalist
here in London,
architecture. Yeah.
exactly. So here in London, we got this kind of Barbican where if you haven't been, if people that didn't visit much London, I invite them to go and have a look because it's really outstanding. And here you see pretty similar building where it just is minimalistic. So that's another thing that I want to mention about photography. Sometimes less is more as well in
Mm.
photography, where you get more results if instead of capturing so many things, you focus on one specific aspect of the image or the surroundings, and then you really capture it in a best way possible and in your own way, because every
Mm.
single one of us has their own voice. So nobody will take the same picture you will take. So like Amy said before, in the Brixton Park where people were shooting, taking photograph of skaters, that I didn't see one single picture that was the same.
Yeah.
And so this is another great example of how shooting all together is an exercise to see also the other people perspectives. And
Mm.
yeah, Kristen did something different from the others. And I would say this picture is last but not least.
Yeah, nice message to leave it on, isn't it? Oh, brilliant. Amazing. Yeah, so again, lovely variation of images, all, packed with lots of meaning, different interpretations. Yeah, thank you, Antonio, for picking those out and yeah, explaining them so well. It's really great.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, thank you for everyone that entered. Obviously, Antonio had the lovely job of looking at all of your images, and they were wonderful. So yeah, just to remind everyone, the winner has received this Pentax 17. Everyone on this top 10 will receive a copy of their print as well. And then the top 3 will get some Kodak films as well and a Pentax 17 t-shirt. So yeah, again, thank you for everyone who joined the event, even if you didn't enter the competition. It was a brilliant day up and down the country. The weather was glorious, hopefully for most of you. It was for us in London, wasn't it? And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do this all over again next year. So yes, thank you again, Antonio.
You're welcome. And then I want to congratulate everyone who participated to this event and this great movement, and remind them that to keep shooting and to keep experimenting and go out the comfort zone and try to create something that is interesting beyond their imagination. So if a picture they're taking makes it, sorry, making them not comfortable to actually go for it, because as you can see from the images we explore today, sometimes something that is out of the ordinary, it makes the image pop out. So yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations to all the participants.
Exactly. And also, yeah, worth mentioning that, I met so many people on my walk, and I'm sure lots of other people did the same, that it was their first time on a photo walk. And, they had a wonderful time, and just worth reiterating, don't be scared, come along. You're in a safe space. The film community is so kind and helpful to each other. You're in the best place to get advice, if you're not quite sure about how to load your camera, things like that. So yeah, I would encourage everyone to come along to a photo walk at some point, and yeah, we'll have lots more coming throughout the year, so hopefully we'll see you on one soon.
Excellent.
Amazing.
All right, Amy.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you
much,
for this
Antonio.
live.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day, yeah?
We'll speak to you
Bye-bye.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Speak later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.